Hi, it's Micky Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
We're conjuring an Uber driver right now. Gonna be playing Yachtley Crew tonight, February 1st, my mom's birthday. So they're about 2 minutes away here. All right, conjuring. Oh, bye, kitties. Oh boy, here we go. 1 minute away. 1 minute away. Stay on target. 1 minute away. Stay on target. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go. We are on our way to another extraordinary adventure with Yachtley Crew and associates, subsidiaries, affiliates, parental companies, sister and brother companies. Let's see what we can do here. There you go. You're welcome. All right, well, yeah, here he is. Uber. Here she is. Hello there.
Hi.
Yeah, there we go. How's everything going? Good.
Make a right turn on Vineland Avenue, then make a right turn on Hesby Street. Make a right turn on Hesby Street.
So how long have you been driving today so far? Oh, not too much? Do you do, what, like a couple of hours or something?
Now I think maybe 1 hour.
2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Did you drive Uber while it was raining crazy?
Yes.
Just
You
ahead,
did?
make a right turn on Riverton Avenue.
Was that challenging?
Have more jobs in this way.
Oh, you had a lot more jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm trying to find something in my bag here. There's
Make a right turn
I'm in
on
a.
Riverton Avenue.
Do you know what the term yacht rock means? Do you know what the term yacht rock is?
No.
Yacht rock.
No.
It's a kind of. Do you know what soft rock is? Soft rock classics, like music, they call it soft rock.
Oh.
Like it's rock and roll music, but
In a
it's
quarter-mile, make a left turn on Camarines
easy
Street.
listening. You know, easy listening music. So bands like Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross and Steely Dan. Through the years, they've come up with the term for it called yacht rock, and it's a genre now. Well, this is the band I'm in called Yachtley Crew, and this is what we all dress up in. I'm going to leave this with you in case you ever go out and you want to see live music or anything. It's all love songs, all good vibes, and everybody who shows up are just really good people. That's where I'm going right now, tonight, to the Viper Room on Sunset Strip. Do you ever get out and see... You ever see
Make a left turn on Camarines
live
Street.
music?
I love music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's some of your?
Every music.
Oh, every music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sing as well?
Yes.
Oh wow, you sing. Do you have how many albums do you have out there? Is there a way to hear these songs like on the internet in any way?
Okay.
Planning a spring break getaway? Well, with the Capital One Venture
Oh yeah.
Club,
So we sing. It's all love songs, all good vibes,
and those miles
and
closer to that trip to Paris.
we try to. Have you ever seen Love Boat? That old TV show Love Boat?
Love boat, no.
Yeah. Well, on the TV show The Love Boat, it took place on a big yacht, big cruise. And each show featured new bands, new music that was on the ship. And so when we do our show, it's almost like we try to give the illusion like we are one of those bands, you know, on a cruise ship, and we're taking the audience through a cruise. And it's just so much fun. I can't wait. Tonight's going to be so much fun. We heard that Mario Lopez is going to be there tonight.
Oh, Mario Lopez.
Yeah, he. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see in the sax and the bells something in the show.
Saved by the Bell,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I grew up watching that show. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. A.C. Slater, I think was his name on the show. But yeah, it's crazy because I grew up watching him, on the television, and now all of a sudden I'm in a band that he's going out to check out, and it's just, it's such, it really shows you what can be done when you put out good vibes, when you really just go put out the positivity.
Rock band.
Oh yeah, rock band.
But
Oh
not
yeah.
heavy.
Like soft music, like I'm trying to think of the easy listening stations out here. Coast 103, is that like a station out here? Coast. It's like easy music. It just puts you in a good mood, basically. It's like, I like to think of it. It's like going to get a good massage. If you go in and you're like, ooh, and you just feel like you're so like, ooh, you're fluid. Like you're swimming, and that's kind of like what it's like at our shows. It's kind of like you're just swimming in the good vibes. So you sing, and what are some of your favorite songs to sing?
I don't know, remember, but I love that.
Proceed straight on West Verdugo Avenue.
Every music, I like it.
Oh,
English, Spanish.
Oh yeah. So you sing all kinds?
Yes.
Do you ever go to the karaoke?
In Spanish, yes.
Yeah, you like to go to the Spanish karaoke's? Oh, that's great. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's always fun. Even if someone does not know how to sing, it's still fun because it's just great just to get up there and try it anyway,
Yeah.
Those are the best times, is to try a song, especially if it's a song that you never thought that you could actually do. I say go for it. There's nothing to lose. You're not, you're not gonna, there's no consequence to it. It's just like, oh, it's cool. It's kind of brave, isn't it, to sing? That's one of the big fears for people, is to talk in front of other people and then also singing in front of other people. Those are some of the big fears for people. So if you can just go ahead and do that easily, wow, you can do it so easily and effortlessly. I mean, there's something to that then.
When we go into the karaoke, I try the song the Scorpion, the Wind of Change.
Scorpion?
Uh-huh.
Rock you like a hurricane.
But
That one?
The song is Wind of Change.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yes. So you sang that one. Oh my gosh, that's great. Was that a lot of fun to sing that one?
Yeah.
Right? It's great because you're like, wow, that's crazy. I just tried that song. I never sang it before. You just go out there and you try it. Wow, that is fun.
I like the Bee Gees.
What's
the
called?
Bee Gees?
Oh, the Bee Gees. Oh yeah. The Bee Gees are good. Bee Gees are great. Yeah, it's fun too, because sometimes, with karaoke, you see words up there that you never realized were the words of the song, right? And you go, wow, that's it. That's crazy. Oh yeah, so you can drop me off. Basically, right here is fine. Looks like these people are getting in a car. Thank you so much for the ride. I'm gonna get back here, get my coat. Yeah, and check us out sometime if you can, because I think you're gonna recognize a lot of those songs. You probably hear them at the karaoke all the time. All right, bye-bye. Take care. Thank you. Uber karaoke.
They will give you a ticket. Oh, not having a third? See the sign?
Turn it towards the.
See the sign?
Turn it towards the street.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So going down. See, at 10 o'clock it turns into 4 hours. So we'll come out here and put 4 hours. So it only costs $6 instead of 10. So I put my wheels to the right.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn them into.
Because if you fall downhill, it's gonna go right
Turn
to
your
the.
wheels to the right.
2-hour parking Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., 4-hour parking Monday through Saturday, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. next day, except holidays, tow away, no stopping, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. daily, no parking 10 a.m. to 12 noon Wednesdays at street sweeping. Violators will be cited. Turn wheels to curb as indicated, downhill, uphill. There are not too many rules to follow on this sign at all. They make it very easy to understand. Oh boy. These are the kind of signs we encounter here in Los Angeles.
What does he say? I'm Paul.
Parking.
Right?
That was so great. Wow. Parking in Los Angeles. Parking in Los Angeles. Camera crew just walked in while we were setting up here, and there was a guy who's like sort of like being like a host, and so I just immediately started telling him about Yachtley Crew. I'm like, oh, were you here? Are you here because of Yachtley Crew? And he goes, oh, this is CNN Japan. So I made sure to represent it as best as possible, because it'd be phenomenal to do a Japanese tour. Oh my God! So they're down in the basement now. Oh no, here they are. Here they are. Here they are. They've just arrived. It's incredible. So what? Hey man, I'm Stony Shores. Nice to meet you.
We published things over there, right?
What?
I started NRG recording in North Hollywood.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And I've been around here forever. And as a songwriter, I've got about 60 working copyrights on different people's albums and film and television.
So these guys are out here, and you're kind of showing them around Hollywood?
Yeah, they're showing the Japanese audiences the Sunset Strip.
That's
you know how
great.
interested they are in rock and roll. They sent me an email that said, you know the old saying, when the United States gets sick, Japan sneezes.
That's true. That's true.
And so we're giving them the inside scoop. We just got back from the Rainbow and
great.
interacted with
You're
a lot
showing
of
them the
people.
real Sunset Strip, what it's all about.
No, we went all through the Rainbow, took all the pictures of all the
Wow.
rock stars. Pretty badass.
This is such a famous area, you know? That's so great that you're showing them this area. That's so great. Did you tell them about the haunted basement?
Oh yes,
They're ghosts, right? Ghosts down there.
Yeah.
What's the name of your show that you're with?
It's very. Can I have? What's the Japanese? It's Japanese, so you can understand America with this show.
Oh,
kind of
very
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give this to you guys in case you ever decide to hire us for a corporate gig or anything. We'd love to do a Japanese tour.
Oh, okay.
So that's us right there. I'm going to give one to you too, just in case you want to have one.
So 10:30, the show will start.
Oh yeah, we'll start playing at 10:30.
Can you come back here to shoot?
You can try, but I don't know if it'll be sold out or not. It might be sold out, but I'm not certain. I'm not certain.
We're going to be moving on.
Oh, that's great. Hey,
Sold out.
it was a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you too.
You guys have a great night. Hey, everybody, gather around. Want to hear the Inspirado hotline number? Yeah! All right. Goes a little bit like this. 561-203-9179er. 561-203-9179er. Say, I got an idea. How about you try it? Sounds great. Okay, here we go. 561-203-9179er. That sounds great. 561-203-9179er. That sounds awesome. 561-203-9179er.
Hey man, we're in the car. We just wanted to call and tell you about our trip, our pilgrimage to the Glendenning Ranch, and give you a full update on the conditions, things there, and how our road trip is going. Give us a call when you can. We'll talk to you soon. See you, Kurt. Love you, man. Love you.
Let me tint your windows, or tint my windows. I go, tinted windows is a fix-it ticket. Totally different. I said, if you get pulled over with a person in the car, it's an infraction on your license and you could lose your insurance. So I said, do me a favor. Here's a beer. Put a person in the car. Keep your windows rolled up and get on your phone and do 80 down this city street right here. Let me know how that goes over. 80. He goes, Mom, that's a little extreme. The law is the law, Ethan. You may not have a person in the car.
Whoa, here she comes. We will be doing the sound check momentarily. Things are going to be rocking and rolling soon enough. The time is now 7:57 p.m. It's 8 p.m. Basically, from what I understand, it's sold out. Tonight is sold out. Sold out. And yeah, sold out. Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, aka Lex Luthor, is going to be here tonight, bringing 20 people. Mario Lopez, possibly Bruce Campbell. We have a new lawyer right now. You actually heard me interview him. He's on one of these podcasts. Within the past 10 podcasts, he's on one of those. I'm not even going to tell his name, but he's a lawyer. He works with Ringo Starr, and he works with Bruce Campbell. So there's a possibility that Bruce Campbell might be here tonight. So, I mean, could you imagine if Michael Rosenbaum, Bruce Campbell, and Mario Lopez, and wouldn't that be crazy if Craig Robinson showed up? If they showed up and then they tweeted from here and said, hey, here's where I'm at. Whoa, man. Or if they did an Instagram, holy moly. That would be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a very busy. I just looked up at the occupancy on the wall here. It says 175. Now, that means that there are 175 tickets that sold out. All of these booths, there are 5 booths here. Each of these booths, if you want to rent a booth here at Viper Room, it's $400. $400 to rent a booth. $400 to rent a booth. And what's awesome is we finally have stickers up. And so that was a dream come true. Chaz, I gotta say, it was a dream come true that we finally have stickers now, and to be able to stick them in those Viper Room bathrooms.
I got them all.
I stuck one in there too.
They're all there.
So it's so great to be able to see those in there, because this whole time I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna get a Yachtley Crew one in here before we know it.
It's the first thing I thought of.
Oh,
Put them in the bathroom in the Viper Room.
Oh God, they're gonna be it's just perfect. New Yachtley Crew stickers. Have you seen them?
Have I seen them?
Yeah. Oh, you got some. Oh, good.
It's going on my car.
Oh, good. You have ideas as to where you're putting it.
Yes, putting it right in my
Not
car.
on a guitar case or on a guitar case.
I might steal another one when they're not looking.
Yeah.
And put it on a guitar case. We'll see.
Oh goodness.
Hey, listen.
They're here now. How cool is that? They're in the now. The stickers, we got our stickers in the bathrooms now.
Nice.
The world famous Viper Room bathroom.
That's it's very famous.
So the at-home listeners right now, you come out to the Viper Room, you go into the bathrooms, you are going to see the Yachtley Crew stickers that I am talking about. You heard it here first.
Where they are, there's a lot of stickers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I stuck one kind of. If you're looking at if you're at the urinal, it'll be up on the wall.
Yeah, you hear that, ladies? When
Yeah.
you're at the urinal.
That's right. That's right. When you're at the urinal, it'll be right there. It'll be right there. It's funny. It feels like there's no one here right now. I'm supervising what we're doing.
True, we could do whatever we want.
We could dance on the tables if we wanted. So it's $400 to rent these things out, Tommy. Would you?
It's $400 what?
$400 to rent out one of these.
One of these what?
One of these booths.
Oh, booths?
Yeah.
Wow. It's well, listen, if you get 5 or 6 friends, not that bad. And plus, you probably get a bottle or something with that. So, seems like a good deal. I mean, I'm gonna rent one out for myself and just sit in it and not let anybody sit in it. And just be like, nope.
I think the first time I saw Craig Robinson here, he was all by himself, but then the ladies started shuffling in there.
Yeah, I'm sure
Like,
that
hey,
was
Craigie.
by design.
Yeah. That's right.
I would also do that if I was Craig Robinson.
Poor me, I'm all by himself. So I'm all by myself in his booth. Who's gonna help me sit
Some
here?
guy tries to sit next to him. He's like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, get out of here, guy. Get out of here. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be very exciting.
We have a new fan here. Anyway, we're just kind of waiting around for sound check, so we're gonna do a podcast.
Oh yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
Oh yeah. What else are you gonna do in the interim?
I mean, how many hours do you think we've spent waiting to sound check?
Quite a few more than we ever anticipated.
I never thought I'd spend this much time waiting to do something.
Right. It's so crazy because there have been those times where we have 5 hours and we go, what are we going to do for 5 hours? Well, it takes about 4.5 hours sometimes to do those sound checks.
Yeah, it's a lot of wires, so one little thing gets messed up. So I don't envy the sound crew.
Yeah, no, I don't either. The sound, because each sound engineer kind of has their own ideas to how they set stuff up and how they plug stuff in. So it must be tricky.
I am getting a little hangry.
Yeah.
And it's 8 o'clock.
Oh boy.
And the doors are in an hour.
Doors in an hour?
We haven't sound checked yet. The doors.
Zoinks. Yowza.
Yowzers. Let's bring it over here.
1 hour.
Guess what? You guys are on the podcast now.
1 hour before we open these doors.
I'm just saying, if I trim this down, it'll look like I lost 10 pounds.
Rob's talking about his pubic hair.
Come on, dude. I don't have any. Yeah, that's been going on. Who's Rob? He got electrolysis. Actually, Misty got it for him for Christmas one year.
She just burned it off with a curling iron. Yeah, she tied you down.
Shonk.
She said it was supposed to be fun.
Yikes. Yeah, it sounds like another sequel to the 50 Shades of Grey franchise. Electrolysis. Oh boy. Jumper cables and her electrolysis. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Usually wrist.
He's on a like a moving. What do they call it? It's like a dolly. We got like a dolly over here. Oh my God. Chaz, how many people do you think we're going to try to pack in here tonight?
I think they try and pack like 250.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. That's what I've been putting down for. That's what I've been. That's what I've been putting down on our Reverb Nation shows. Oh, we got some sounds happening here. We have not even begun sound checks yet. There's a lot to consider here when you're doing sound.
I wish I knew what number that was. So, does this show up?
No matter what happens with the in-house, no matter what happens with the in-house sound engineers, what's great is that because we have Chris and we have Robin, whenever those guys are around, everything is smooth and easy, and it turns out awesome. They've, I don't know if I've told you before, they have, Chris has worked with Fishbone for many years, and also Steel Pulse, which is another band that he's done as a sound engineer. Oh, geez, so Chris, I forgot to ask you. Did you do the sound engineering for that? Did you ever do the Fishbone Milwaukee Fest? Do you remember?
No, I did Ride Fest.
Fishbone guys 2 nights ago.
Dr. Mad Vibe, right?
What happened?
I just had Norwood and...
Here?
At the Mint.
At the Mint?
Yeah, there's soft.
A couple of the Fishbone guys?
Yeah, I used to tour Madison D front house with them years ago.
Mr. Mad Vibe himself. All right, now you're in.
That's awesome.
They had soft patching all over the city.
That's great.
Yeah, those guys with like McFadden and Jesse. It was, oh, it was goodness.
Wow.
That whole group.
Well, they all do other things too.
So you didn't do a Summerfest Milwaukee?
No,
Milwaukee.
I did Riot Fest in
from
Chicago.
I'm from Green Bay.
So now, how bad?
Oh
is
yeah?
This, how bad?
Oh
is
my
this
God! Of course you are.
No,
He's running a podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm interviewing you.
How
guys.
bad is this going to fuck you up now?
Nope, not at all. It's all done. They had there was a bunch of soft patching. Now we're good.
Wowzers! There's a lot happening here. A lot happening. Oh yeah, Yachtley time. Yachtley time. Sound checking time. So I just had this idea for something which could be described as a horror film. And what happens is, I don't know if it's something that people eat. I don't know if it's something that, like, I don't know if it's in a pill, if it's in the water, if a bug bites them. I mean, there's so many possibilities. Rusty nail. And what happens is people start slowly turning to jelly, like a jello, like a jello. Their skin starts turning to like a jello. So imagine them. So imagine them walking around and imagine them walking around and slowly there's just this jello just starts. Like imagine someone barefoot and they're slowly walking and the bottoms of their feet are just kind of falling away and maybe there's no pain to it. They just lose feeling and it's just like, and can you imagine like someone walking on a hot sidewalk and they're turning into this jello. They're barefoot, maybe a beach community, and the person's walking along. Their feet and their legs start turning more and more into this jello. And they're walking along, and they're leaving bits of their feet, their jello feet, behind on the sidewalk. And meanwhile, as they're walking, they're getting shorter and shorter because they're kind of grinding away their body. And as they get lower and lower, they're realizing, like, what? And they're up to their knees, and they suddenly realize, oh my God, what the hell's happening here? But then all of a sudden, there's really no way. I don't know, let's say they get, maybe there's some kind of time limit, who knows? Some kind of time limit where, from when you're bitten or whatever, until the time of when you start losing your limbs. Your hands too, your fingers. So imagine someone is clapping imagine I get this image of someone like at the opera. They're watching some big show. They're like, yeah! They're clapping and their hands are turning into this jello. And their hands are just getting blah, 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 blah. And it's just turning into this gross, like sloppy, gooey, blah, just falling. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're, maybe like just like jello, it's sweet. Maybe they smell like strawberry or grape or whatever. So then imagine this, you got the people walking through the streets and all of a sudden, like you see dogs like running up and licking up the jello from the streets. Oh, everyone's selling umbrellas out here. All right, folks, I might as well take you with me above ground. I'm going to send Mr. Uchansky a message here. All right. So now you get to hear what's going on out here in the streets. I'm standing at Monty Hall, if you know who that is. Monty Hall, Olive Borden, Joanne Woodward, Ernest Torrance, all these bygone Looks like these folks are all in the movies. So if you come out here to Highland in Hollywood someday, this is the corner you want to stand at. Right now I'm looking straight at a Tyrannosaurus Rex popping out of the Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium. Straight ahead of me, looking right at me. To the left of that is the McDonald's and Scientology building, Wax Museum. It's over here too. To my right is a souvenir of Hollywood. Now the way that I'm walking straight at this dinosaur up there. And as we continue down the sidewalk over here, we're going to be walking towards Mel's Diner. It's so much fun being over here, Hollywood and Highland. Being over here when the tourists come in. So cool. This is a world that is new to them, bright, full of hope, possibilities, dreams, creativity, the hub of media. I think it's still thought of that way in parts of the world. I think it is still looked at as the spot where entertainment is created. Is that interesting? For instance, I just walked through the subway. I didn't have the podcast running. I just walked through the subway and I saw them setting up like the director's chairs and Video Village, and people are setting up lights. So I bet you within an hour or two, they're going to be rolling on that baby. Saw some wardrobe carts. They're on the wheels. The mobile wardrobe, maybe you'd call it that. They usually see with movies, TV shows. So those people wheeling it up. And maybe that's why they had the escalator. No, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. What really makes sense? If it makes sense, then what? It's a high five, and then on to the next mystery to solve. That's the epiphany. So, the point is not necessarily, maybe not necessarily what that information is. The point is actually the epiphany itself. It's interesting how different information pulls us towards it, huh? Certain pieces of information make us curious. For instance, my Uncle Arnie used to talk about the Patrazibi tribe. They were pygmies. And they lived on an island right over by Whitewater Beach. We called it Whitewater Beach. In Clearwater, Florida? Whitewater? Oh, sheesh. Anyway, he lived over there. And we're like, what's over there on that island, Uncle Arnie? And he'd say, those are the pygmies. Those are the Patrazibis. They're a bunch of, they're like 3 foot tall. They have these blowguns, and they shoot these darts at you. They're poisonous. And so there was always this big question, what's going on over there? And one day, because it was my brother and I, we'd stay out there in Wisconsin, and sometimes our parents would too. When they were together, it's only like a 2-hour ride. Back then it seemed like eternity. Going from the Chicagoland area up there. So there's this time, my dad and me and my brother Josh and my Uncle Arnie were all in Uncle Arnie's pontoon boat, and we decided this day that we're going to go out to the island. And I remember we were getting closer, like, Dad, is it real? Is it real? Are there actual pygmies out here? And he just smiled, and he looked at my Uncle Arnie. He didn't say anything. And then as we were getting closer, he's like, okay, boys, stay close by us. Stay close by us. We don't want those pygmies getting you. So we weren't really allowed to go much farther into the island, but we're just enough to just kind of touch the edge of it. It was like standing on the edge of a black hole. You know, it's like one step over and you're in it. So I think because of that, I've had a fondness for cryptozoology. You know, curious things, curious phenomenon. Makes life interesting. Anyway, thanks for listening to Inspirado Projecto, and I will most likely be interviewing folks at the Super Bowl. Super Bowl shoe, really big shoe.
That's good of her. She's supposed to hate the stuff you watch.
We can agree like on the.
So you're saying where did it start with the religion and how did it spread? It started with who?
Yeah, so keep your eye on this.
It goes back to okay, so if we start at the beginning of it, it starts with the hunter-gatherers, and they hunted and collected animals, and they gave thanks to the animal, they praised the animal became the god. That was animism. That's the start of all faith, because now that's your god. It feeds you, it clothes you, it shelters you. And then you move from animism to a more civilized form, because there were now kingdoms and cities being built up, and you had to control people somehow. You had to influence people and control people, and to do that they used those animals, and they took these wild animals and they penned them and they sheltered them, and they were feeding these animals, and so these animals still gave them the life, but now they're feeding them and they're getting clothes from these animals, but they're in a civilization, and there's priests who take care of these animals and they get sacrificed for these animals. And so you've now gone from the regular animism of the hunter-gatherer to the animism that is in a society. And then that changes because you need to worship the thing that's growing the food for these animals. And you've also eaten the food that these animals eat also, because when times are hard, there's that food. So you're farming, and so you start worshiping the sun, and the sun becomes your god, and the sun and the sky and the rain. And so you start worshiping elements, and you give those elements form, and those become your gods because they're feeding you and they're providing for you. So you're looking to that, and then you moved on from there. And this all can be found in Hinduism, and you look at the foundations of Hinduism, and there's actually a temple in southern India that shows the progression of this through from animals and people. They show all kinds of interesting things in how the animals in the play, and how people played and worked and built and grew and became modern human, and how we grew in societies. And so you look at Hinduism, and this is a foundation religion, and it influenced the Mesopotamian culture, and it influences the Egyptian culture, and all of the Middle East, Greece, Turkey, Iran, that whole area. Those borders are arbitrary. They were all just people moving and flowing through these areas. And so you create the idea of the Sumerians and even the Phoenicians and the Sumerians. They all talk about how they are just taking from the culture that was before them. And the Sumerians influence everybody. They were the Phoenicians. They're great sailors. They're the Mesopotamian people. And they influenced the Egyptians, and then the Egyptians influence Rome and Greece and Turkey comes back down and influences all through the Middle East and into India again. And it creates this idea of Buddhism. So you have these polytheistic religions flowing into each other, and Buddhism comes about and flows over, and it influences Christianity. So now you have this influence and growth of Christianity, and that then grows over and influences the Muslims and the other offshoots of religion that all flow from that. And we're just growing evolutionary in mind, in thought and process. But I think it's funny through the scientific mindset and the materialist culture that we've developed, we want to do away with that spirituality completely, but you can't, because it's part of our evolution as a culture. But I think there's value in the wisdom that they provide without, having the obvious cultural problems like the sacrifices and stuff like that that occurred during those times.
Yeah.
And so, but we can always glean wisdom from the past and grow. But yeah, it's fascinating.
It's crazy to see how the domino effect goes. How one zeitgeist is then recycled into the next era. Or whatever, and it just propelled forward, and the different branches that come out of it too.
And that's why you see like the Christ mythos is the greatest to look at because it's the most pertinent right now, and you see that, and they can play it against like Mithras or in Egypt you had
Thoth.
Yeah, or
the emerald tablets.
And you had Isis, Osiris, and Ra, and that play.
It is 6:10 right now. February 4th. I'm in room 208 at the Embassy Suites here in, what is this, Arcadia. Waiting for Tony Lamka to show up with his buddy. Tony is doing the Operation Tone-Up stuff tomorrow. He's visiting some schools. He asked me to come out and record some of this stuff with his cell phone. And then what we'll do is we'll take the audio directly from the video and we're going to put it into, I'm not sure what the actual podcast is going to be called, but it's going to be basically the Operation Tone-Up podcast. If you get a chance, check out Operation Tone-Up. It's for kids. And they learn all about nutrition. They learn all about exercise. They learn about the nutrients. And it's phenomenal. When you talk to these kids and you see like how they're affecting their parents and everything, they'll go out and they'll go to the store with their parents and their parents are looking through foods and they go, "No, Mom, that's got too much sodium in it." It's crazy to see how these kids are being aware of the foods that they're eating, what's going into their bodies, and it's mind exploding to see these kids this passionate about health. So you can check out, if you go onto YouTube, you check out the National Fittest School Challenge 2018. I helped out with that. These kids come out and they compete. They do 20 minutes of exercises and then they learn about nutrition. So they take a little test on that. They do 20 minutes pure exercise with their gym teachers. Then they do they do their little test, their little nutrition test. And depending on who knows what's going on the most, that school wins the award. And so he's done this for 5 years. So I'm going with him tomorrow to, go to the schools, see the students, take some video for the podcast. I'll be podcasting on my own podcast, I think, on this podcast, what you're hearing right now. I'm sure I'm going to do that tomorrow. When I'm not holding the camera. But I got to tell you, Embassy Suites, I don't know if this is how it is all over the place. But, let's see here. Evening reception, Monday through Sunday, 5:30 to 7:30. These folks give away 4 drinks per person. You know, if you got a room, it's 4 drinks. I'm on my second drink. My first drink was rum and cola. Second drink, I'm drinking Old Fashioned. And then she's going to make me a Hawaiian drink. Special Hawaiian drink. Once I drink this, if I can even finish this thing. Wowzers, this is a strong one. Strong one. Strong one. I'm gonna do some push-ups here. I've never done this kind of push-up before. I'm gonna put my feet up on this couch. I'm gonna do some push-ups. All right, let's see what we can do here. I still got my shoes on. What am I doing with my shoes on? All right, let's see. I've never done this kind of thing before. Now, do I want to do that? I don't know. It's gonna make me vomit. So that's the other thing. They had some snacks down there, which I indulged in. And, you know, so I had some snacks, drank my drinks, had some snacks. When Tony arrives, he will be getting his drinks as well, because he's in the room. They didn't look at my card. She didn't really look at the card. She just saw that I had one. It looks here like it's one of those things where they stamp it. You know, those, like Starbucks, they got the card. You stamp it. That's kind of what's going on here. So I think, I don't know what to do. I'm just pacing around the room. 6:16. I got basically another hour, a little over an hour for the next drink. I haven't even finished the second one. I haven't even finished it. Oh yeah, they're not kidding. It's a strong one. Indian. Whoop. Whoop. Whew. I feel a little shiver. Yeah. What's interesting is I put the heat up on this place to 78 degrees. It doesn't feel so heat in here. I'm wearing a coat. Wow, interesting. It's not often that I stay in hotels. But when I do, I get free drinks. Wouldn't that be great if you just go ahead and you just make that agreement with yourself? You just go, okay, here we go. We're going to make an agreement. Whenever I stay somewhere, I'm going to get free drinks. There was a guy, you could check out the Inspirado Projecto Instagram page if you'd like. There was a guy who was playing in the Maroon 5 band who looks like me right now. I look like him right now. So at Ryan's Super Bowl party, Lisa, his wife, kept going, Kurt, that looks like you up there. That looks like you. And then I look over and sure enough, it looked like me. And so I took some photos and I put them up on Instagram. If you go to Inspirado Projecto on Instagram, so go to Instagram.com/Inspirado Projecto, you should find it. It's up there. It's up there, baby. It's up there. What a curious thing, doppelgangers, right? What a curious thing. What would happen if I stood in the same room with that guy? One might frequently think that a portal would open. A whole nother doorway to a dimension that no one ever knew existed. Isn't it interesting when you think about this? I'm gonna go along with the idea of the tree falling in the forest type of thing right here. We're gonna go along with this line of thought. So the tree falling in the forest that's one of those things where you go, okay, the tree falls. If you don't have an ear to hear it, does it make a sound? It doesn't make a sound because you need the ear to hear it. It's like saying, it's like saying if you have, what is that called? Infrared stuff happening, but you don't have the infrared technology to actually see that stuff going on. Does that stuff exist? Well, I guess the answer would be, yes, I guess. God, would it not be no? Anyway, I'm thinking, would parallel universes, would other dimensions exist if there was nothing there to know that it existed? There's got to be some kind of being that knows a particular dimension exists. There's got to be at least one being that knows a dimension exists. And that's got to be the thing. There's this idea that we didn't come out of a Big Bang at all. There was no Big Bang. We were just always here. There's so many unexplainable things that when an idea comes up trying to explain this, people go, oh, okay, that's the explanation. And then they take that information as their own, and then they perpetuate it. I'm doing the same thing. Everything coming out of my mouth has come from studies, my travels, my experimentations. What I like best is if I can experiment on myself with these concepts that I learn about. That's pretty cool. Because I see that if, I experience something, now I can go, I know now that this is true, so to speak. It's true for me. Because I've seen it. I've experienced it. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. The idea of dimensions. Can a dimension exist if you don't have a being in there that knows it exists? Well, whatever created that dimension knows it exists. Whatever created the trees knows that the trees exist. So if that tree falls in the forest, at least that thing that knows it exists could hear it or know. If there are absolutely no ears to hear that, maybe that's the way that the universe hears it. That's the way. Now, is it this? Okay, is it this? Is it the universe exists, it contains all of the possibilities, all of the know-how, etc., that we do? Or did it create us and animals and etc., in order to be able to hear these items, in order to be able to experience these items? It'd be like a painter. So let's say I make a painting and I say, okay, this little creature here thinks about this. That little creature thinks about that. This little creature thinks about this. This particular thing does this particular thing. But I create them, but that does not necessarily mean that I would live as them or know what they experience, right? I would have to kind of become them, right? Or no? I don't know. There's so many questions. The good news is I just got something back from something called Deezer. Deezer. I filled out a possibility of getting the podcast on there on something called Deezer. So we'll see. We'll see. Deezer just said this. Here's what we got from you. Deezer podcast application form. This form is to register your interest only. Does not mean that your content will be made available on Deezer. Please fill out this form in English with all required details. Make sure to read the terms of service. Bam. So that's really cool that they got back to me. That's really nice. It's a really nice thing, isn't it? It's a nice thing. It's a very nice thing. So it looks like I have something confirmed for February 9th. Maria del Pilar album release. Show and party at the Civic Center Studios. 207 South Broadway, Los Angeles. It's interesting. I'm sitting here in 208 at the Embassy Suites. This tells me 207. I'm in 206. I live in 206. It's very crazy. Maria del Pilar. I feel... Okay, what's the first thing that pops in my brain? Salvador Dali. Okay. Salvador Dali. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up a soft self-portrait. Yes. There it is. It was a documentary about him that Orson Welles narrates. I love it. It's phenomenal. I don't know how I came across it. I own the original VHS. So... let's see. So they got all pieces of this. The soft self-portrait. I'm going to get him on there talking about... there's a part where he's walking along. He's on the beach. And he's talking. He's on the beach. He's talking. He's talking about himself. Oh, wait. Here we go. Hold on. Let's see.
You have, it appears, a very clear idea of your prenatal life.
Yes, absolutely. Because already the Dr. Otto Rand writes the most eminent book about this matter, and the title is Tetraumatism of Birth. And I remember in the most minute details the images the most phosphorescent, the most paradisiac, the most truculent, and the most art and top art. And this is astonishing, but it's absolutely true. Dali is one of our artists and one top artist before born.
Shot through with phosphenes and angelic visions, says Dolly. My intra-uterine life had the color of hellfire. It was soft, motionless, and warm and sticky. My most splendid vision was that of 2 eggs in a frying pan without the frying pan, phosphorescent and blue-tinged, the image of an initial state that my whole imaginative life tends to reconstruct symbolically, just as it tends to overcome the horrible trauma of birth, which flings us into the hard, cold, and frightfully real world.
Wowzers. If you get a chance, check out A Soft Self-Portrait by Salvador Dali. I'm so curious who made this. We're going to go down a little rabbit hole right now. When in doubt, search for Salvador Dali. That's what I've noticed. Soft. This is one of my... To any of you listening right now, I would be honored to play Salvador Dali in a movie. If you're going to do biopic with him, please consider me. So Salvador Dali, director Jean-Christophe Averty, made in 1970. I love the fact that Orson Welles did that, man. And Orson Welles, he linked up with Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman was, he basically... Orson Welles sat in for Johnny Carson, and Andy Kaufman was a guest on there. So that was awesome. And now here he is, working with Salvador Dali. It looks like Jean-Christophe Averty... Oh, he died in 2017? He died in 2017? See, this is someone I would have loved to have worked with. Oh, man. So he worked all the way up into 1990, and then from 1995 to 2000, there's some TV series documentary. And then in 2011, out came something Ray Charles live in Antibes, France, 1961. So apparently that was shot in 1961, but then it didn't come out until 2011. I mean, it's just a mind-blowing expansion, right? Mind expansion. Mind expansion. All right, folks, that's all for now. I'm going to work on... I sent myself today's file from the K-Chung show that I had with... Noel. Let's see, who's this other guy? What's his name? Omid. Jessica. Mike Schlee. So I'm gonna get to uploading that. I'm gonna upload that to Mixcloud. I saved the file, so I'm gonna upload that to Mixcloud. And you can listen to that. All right, that's all for now. You take care. Thanks so much for listening to Inspirado Projecto. You know what? And send me a call. Call the Inspirado Projecto hotline. It's 561-203-9179. I will include it in the podcast. You can also send me an email, inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. You can find us on iTunes, TuneIn, a bunch of other podcasts out there. So take a look. See what you find. Take care, and keep that in mind.